Hi everybody. It's been a while since I've done a video like this, up close and personal. Lately my videos have just been of things we've been doing around the house. We've been doing lots of painting, trying to get our basement done. And I have found it to be an easier time to do a recording, so I thought I would just roll the camera and get some content. So that's been fun to do, but I have missed really recording and reflecting up close and personal, focused and intentional, rather than random and drifty. Neither is better than the other. I think both are good. Welcome to my channel, Loose Life Pearls, where I reflect on my life revelations. So today I want to talk about a recent pearl that I have found in life, which is we are very limited by our definitions of words. A lot of the time as people, we miscommunicate a lot, not because we're not listening to what people are saying, not because we're not being receptive, not because we're not paying attention, but because we all have different definitions of words, even though we can come up with the same technical definition. So my sister and I were talking about this basically because of all of this information that's coming out with the coronavirus and all the updates that we've been getting every day and all the opinions circulating the topic. And we were realizing that when we're talking about the coronavirus, even just the word virus means something different for everyone. If you're a healthcare provider, you hear the word virus and you think of everything that you learned in school about what a virus is. You think about all the virulent factors. What are those factors that make a virus scary or unpredictable or last long or hard to kill? How does it work? How do we treat it? You hear the word virus, you might think of a vaccination, you might think of the different ways that it manifests in the body. You might think of different examples of various viruses. If you're not a healthcare provider, you might hear the word virus and you just might think in vague terms of sickness, or just a sickness that an antibiotic can't kill, or you just picture your personal experience with a time that you've been sick from a virus. So we all are kind of coming at the same word based on our own experiences and what we understand of what that word means. And so without us realizing it, we miscommunicate all the time. I mean, the different examples of this are endless. I also think of hearing the word pregnancy. Everyone knows what pregnancy is, but pregnancy means something different to me, having had a child versus someone that has never had a child versus someone that has had 10 children and has had 10 pregnancies. There's a different level of understanding, different level of experiences based off of my own pregnancy and pregnancies of women that have been around me in my life and what I know can happen, and based off my own research while I was pregnant. But even going into another pregnancy, it's going to mean something completely different because I have a new experience attached to that word. The word marriage elicits a different sense of understanding for everybody based on, again, our own experiences. If our parents were married or not, if our friends had parents that were married or not, if we've been married before or not, if we're about to get married. Everyone knows the technical definition of marriage, of just two people joining together legally and being recognized as one unit, but there are so many different ins and outs that go into a marriage that mean different things to different people. What do you think the different roles should be? How does marriage function as a unit for you? It's going to be different for everybody because we put a different definition to it. But this is also how we get hurt, because without us realizing it, we think that everyone has the same definition. We place expectations behind those definitions without realizing it. You can say the word dinner. Dinner might mean one thing to you and another thing to someone else, again, based off how they were raised, their experiences, and how their dinners have always been. So this can be an interesting thing when two people join their lives together and start living together. vacation. One person pictures vacation as being very leisurely, no plans, no agenda, just get where you're going and just be and see where the week leads you. Other people might hear the word vacation. You know, a portion of that visual might be leisurely, and a portion of that might be doing things the whole time, having things scheduled, having an itinerary. Everyone has a different definition of having a pet, depending on if you have had pets before, if it was a good experience or a bad experience. The way I was raised, our dogs were outside. They were inside during severe weather. They were not indoor dogs. My husband's family has only ever had one dog, and he is inside all the time, goes outside just to go to the bathroom. He's up on the couch, up on the bed. He's like a human being. He's like a member of the family. So when my husband and I decided that we wanted a dog, we had to talk about what that was going to look like for us. A lot of our arguments came from having different expectations about having a dog. We thought we had everything talked through. You know, this is the kind of personality of a dog that we want to have. We know we're going to grow our family. We need a dog that's good with kids. We agreed on the size of a dog. We don't want a dog that's shedding all over the place or drooling all over the place or barking everywhere. We want a dog we can exercise with, a dog that can run with me and I feel protected. We'll let it be inside, we'll let it be outside. We're not gonna let it sleep in the bed with us. We're not gonna let it on the couch. We picked a breed that we both like. Okay, so we think we're on the same page. Oh man, we did not have our bases covered. So for instance, the dog goes outside. My husband wants to flip the light on outside for him at nighttime. And to me, that just seems so silly. He can get along being outside okay without having a light on from the house. If anything, maybe it hinders his sight at nighttime. I would think it'd be easier for an animal to be out in the complete darkness, let their eyes adjust. They're comfortable out there. They're made for it. Their fur is designed to handle the conditions of being outdoors. If it starts to rain, he has an area he can go where it's dry. But my husband wants the light on outside when he goes out there. It starts raining, he wants him to come in. We have different expectations. We have different definitions of what it means to have a dog, which is okay. But it can be difficult if you think that you have the same definition. Why is he reacting that way about me not turning the light on outside? Or why, in his mind, he might be thinking, why can't she just remember to turn the light on? I know that that's something that's important to him, that makes him feel good about having our dog out here. But for me, it's just a random rule I'm trying to remember to appease the person that I love. So that's just an example in my life. I guess my main point is just to be open to realizing this about ourselves when we are learning information, no matter what it is, no matter whether it's something that's being talked about in the news or a Facebook status that comes across our news feed or a tweet that we find on Twitter or a friend who heard something from someone who said something, or whether it's a doctor explaining something to us or any professional explaining anything about their area of expertise, whether it's new information on coronavirus as things are being expressed and explained and updated. We all have different levels of understandings of words, and we're going to be limited by that understanding. But this kind of brings me to my next point.